Hello students, in today's class we are going to see one important topic, that is Bohr atomic model. Last class we just start chapter 12 atoms. In atoms we studied that the Rutherford model of atom. Okay, so by doing some experiment we studied that the Rutherford model of atoms. So we have certain hypothesis from Rutherford, that is mass of the atom will be concentrated at the center, then many places inside the atom will be empty space. Okay, then 10 power 6 amount of particles, 99.86% of particle moves undeviated, and only one particle among 10 lakhs particle deviated by 180 degree, because that particle directly hit on the center of the nucleus. Okay, then we studied about distance of closest approach R naught. So how closely an alpha particle go towards the nucleus, that closest possible distance known as distance of closest approach R naught. Okay, distance from nucleus to the alpha particle, right? So we have R naught equal to 2z e square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, then kinetic energy. And we studied about impact parameter. Okay, impact parameter means perpendicular distance of the initial velocity vector of alpha particle with center of nucleus. Okay, so don't confuse between impact parameter and distance of closest approach, both are separate things. Then we have some drawbacks from Rutherford model, that is it cannot explain stability of atom, then it cannot explain discrete manner of spectra. Okay, so these are the drawbacks from Rutherford model. Then Niels Bohr, okay, he correct Rutherford model with some of his hypotheses, and we are going to see all those points in this topic. From Rutherford model we know electron will collide with nucleus and atom won't exist. So this is what Rutherford said by doing his experiment, that is around a positive charge we have electron. Okay, so this electron rotate, while it is rotating it emits some energy, it loses some energy. Okay, when it loses its energy then it cannot able to complete the circle, so further it will rotate like this, again it loses energy, so for every rotation it loses energy and hit on the positive charge. Okay, it collide with the nucleus, which means atoms won't exist. So without atom this universe is not possible, correct? So this is said by Rutherford. When the electron rotates it emits energy or it loses energy continuously and it hit or collide with the nucleus. If it is collide with the nucleus then atom won't exist, then universe won't exist. Okay, so this process happened in 10 power minus 8 second, within a fraction of second this process happened. This is said by Rutherford. Then we have gas atom. So when we heat this gas atom, heat with electric current, then it starts to emit radiation of certain specific wavelength. In discrete manner. So discrete manner means it will have 4000, 6000, 8000, somewhat like that. Okay, not in continuous. But what Rutherford said, we have continuous spectrum. Okay, he did not explain about discrete spectrum. He said that spectrum will be continuous, but because of emission of radiation of certain specific wavelength, we have discrete manner only. Okay, so we have a spectrum somewhat like this. Let's take this is one spectrum for one color, particular color, another color. So like that, we won't get continuous, but Rutherford said he have continuous spectrum like this. This is not possible. We have discrete manner. Let's take this is 4000 angstrom for example, and this is 4400. Somewhat it will go on 6000. Not in continuous order. Let's take for example this is violet color and this is yellow color. So this spectrum is known as emission spectrum. It will emit colors. Okay, this spectrum is emission spectrum. When gas atom heated with electric current, it will emit radiation which will produce discrete manner of light. Okay, with different wavelength. Okay, so let's take this gas atom emits violet and yellow. So these kinds of spectra are known as emission spectra. So when we pass the gas atom with white light, so white light means it have all the 7 colors in it. Okay, all the 7 colors in the form of FGR. So when we pass white light to the gas atom, it transmitted light is missing for certain wavelength, which means these 2 color will be missed here. So we have spectrum somewhat like this. So these all area will be bright, but violet and yellow will be dark. So there is no violet and yellow. So this type of process emits radiations, emits lights, but this type of process absorb light. Okay, so this white light, when we pass white light to the gas atom absorb violet and yellow, for example violet and yellow, and it will emit all the remaining color. So it will absorb. That's why we take this is absorption spectrum. So this spectra is absorption spectrum. Like that, we have discrete manner of spectrum in Bohr's atomic model. In 1913, Bohr have his atomic model with some modifications in Rutherford model. So the first modification, electron can revolve only in certain stable orbits. Okay, not revolve in all the orbits, but it will only rotate in certain stable orbits. These orbits have fixed energy. These orbits have fixed energy and these called energy levels or stationary state. Okay, so we named, these are named K, L, M, N. So K shell, L shell, M shell, N shell. You can say first shell, second, third and fourth. So electron revolves only in certain orbits, stable orbits. These orbits have fixed energy, and that energy also called as energy levels or stationary state. Okay, so these were named K, L, M, N. Clear? then electron have same energy as that of the orbit. Here we say that is energy levels. So energy levels means the orbit have certain energy. Then what is the energy of electron which are rotating or which are revolving in that orbit? It have same energy as that of orbit. Okay, so let's take, we have nucleus around which we have different orbitals. Okay, K, L, M, N, like that. So this orbital or this energy state have some energy, that is minus 13.6 electrovolt. Let we see one by one. Then the next one have minus 3.14 electrovolt. The next one have minus 1.151. So like that it have different energy level. If some electron revolving here, then the energy of electron is same as that of energy of orbit. So minus 13.6 electron volt is the energy of electron. Okay, so we take this is K, L, M, N. The next point, while revolving in particular energy level or particular orbit, electron do not emit any radiation. But in Rutherford model, when electron revolving, it loses energy. Okay, it emit energy. That's why it collide with the nucleus. But here, while revolving in particular same orbital, then electron won't emit any radiation or any energy. If an electron absorbs or emit radiation, it must move to different energy level. Okay, if it is absorb some energy, then it must to move to next energy level, or if it is lose the energy, then it must come to previous energy level. Okay, for example, if this electron absorbs some energy and it goes here and loses the same amount of energy, again come here. So like that, while absorb or emitting the radiations, emitting the energy, then only will electron move from one energy level to another energy level. Okay, so or else it will rotate in its stationary orbit. The next point, electron can revolve only in those circular orbits for which the orbital angular momentum of electron in an integer multiple of h by 2 pi. So here we have some restrictions for the revolution of electron in orbits. Electron cannot be able to revolve in all the orbits. Okay, so in Rutherford model, electron can be able to revolve in all the orbits. That's why it loses energy and collide with the nucleus. But here there is some restrictions. Electron revolve in only those orbits which have angular momentum value should be exactly equal to integer multiple of h by 2 pi. So we can say the angular momentum L should be exactly equal to integer multiple of h by 2 pi. Here n value should start from 1, 2, 3 like that, integer values. Okay, so h is Planck's constant, then pi is also constant. N value starts from 1, 2, 3 like that, integer value. The orbits which have this value must be a stable orbit. So while electron is revolving in that orbit, it will be stable. So the atom will be stable. Then atom is exist. Electron cannot able to collide with the nucleus. So there atom exists. We know the formula of angular momentum. Angular momentum L equal to R cross P. Okay. So here L equal to, we can write RP sin theta. What is theta? Theta is the angle between linear momentum and radius. So we can say electron will move like this, and this is the radius of atom. So the angle between these two will be 90 degree. Okay, linear momentum, not circular momentum, linear momentum and radius. So angle is 90 degree. For sin 90 the value will be 1. So L equal to RP. Further we know the formula of linear momentum. Linear momentum P equal to mv. So we can write L equal to mvr. Okay, so what is L? Here we know L equal to nh by 2 pi. From this equation we can write mvr equal to nh by 2 pi. Okay, so this is the value of angular momentum L equal to nh by 2 pi. Let's see, take this is equation 1. So this angular momentum value is quantized. Quantized means it have only integer value. Okay, so angular momentum of electron is quantized. For example, the angular momentum L equal to nh by 2 pi. So 1h by 2 pi, and then 2h by 2 pi, 3h by 2 pi. So like that it will be an integer value. And this is known as Bohr quantization condition. Bohr quantization condition. The next topic, very important derivations. We will calculate for radius, velocity, potential energy, kinetic energy and total energy of revolving electron based on Bohr's atomic model. Okay, so let's say take from Rutherford model. We know while electron is revolving, so it balances two forces. What are those two forces? Centripetal force is balanced by electric force. That's why electron is revolving around the nucleus. Okay, so the formula for centripetal force mv square by r, and formula of electric force, that is Coulomb's law, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Further we can write mv square by r equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So what is q1? Q1 is electron. So q1 is 1 electron, and q2 is a positive charge. We don't know how much electron, so we can take Ze. Okay, divided by r square. Let's take this equation 2. Now square equation 1 and divide it with 2. So what is equation 1? That is angular momentum equal to nh by 2 pi, mvr equal to nh by 2 pi, right? mvr equal to nh by 2 pi. So this is our equation 1. We have to square equation 1. Then it will become m square v square r square equal to n square h square by 2 pi square 4 pi square. Okay, so we have to divide this 1 square with 2, equation 2. So I divide equation 2, mp square by r. Here if I divide, we have 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, then Ze. So we have Ze divided by r square. If we simplify this, m get cancelled and v square get cancelled. Okay, then left hand side we have this r goes to upside, so it will become m r. Here we have r is multiplied with this r square, it will become r cube equal to, so here we have n square h square by 4 pi square divided and further divided with 4 pi epsilon naught and r square. So this 4 pi epsilon naught and r square goes to numerator, it will become n square h square 4 pi epsilon naught into r square divided, we have 4 pi square into 1 Ze square, sorry Ze. So 4 pi square into 1 into into Ze square. Okay, 4 pi square 4 pi get cancelled, r cube r square get cancelled. Then we have this m goes to right hand side, it will become in numerator. So we have r here because we cancelled r square, r equal to, so here we have n square h square, 4 pi already cancelled, then epsilon naught divided by, we have pi, 4 pi square, so 1 pi left here, pi, here we have m, so m pi z e square. So this is the equation of radius of orbit. Okay, radius of orbit. So further we can write, so this is radius of nth orbit. We know the value of h, okay, Planck's constant. So 6.626 into 10 power minus 34. Then we have the epsilon naught value 8.854 into 10 power 9. Okay, we have pi constant. Then charge of electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So all these value are constant. If we substitute all these value, then our r value will become 0.53 n square divided by 2 angstrom. So we can use this value also. So n means number of orbital. If we take first, then we have to put 1 here, 2, we have to put 2 here. Okay, for hydrogen atom, it is a stable atom. So for hydrogen, the atomic number of hydrogen is 1. So we take first orbital n equal to 1. Then our r1 value will become 0.529 angstrom. So this is also known as A naught. A naught means Bohr's radius. So Bohr's radius, which is considered only for hydrogen atom. So similarly, if we take the same hydrogen atom z equal to 1, but we take second orbital, so n equal to 2, then r2 will be 0.529 into 2 square. Here we have 2 square, so 2 square will be 4. Then for third value, I have to substitute 3 here, then 3 square will be 9. So like that it will goes on. If we substitute the value of r in Bohr's equation, we have mvr, angular momentum equal to nh by 2 pi, right? So this is our equation 1. If we substitute the value of r in this equation, then we have mv, instead of r, n square h square epsilon naught divided by m pi z e square, which is equal to nh by 2 pi. Now take the value of velocity from this equation. So n square, n get cancelled, h square, h get cancelled. Then we have 2 pi, here we have pi, pi get cancelled. Then m get cancelled. So we have v equal to, this z square goes to right hand side, it will become in numerator. So we have z e square divided by, on all this value goes to right hand side, it will in denominator. So we have epsilon naught, right? And then here we have h square, so 1 h is remaining here, and n square, 1 n is remaining here. So we have 2, for n square we have 1 n, h square we have 1 h, and then epsilon naught. So this is the equation of velocity of revolving electron. So this is for nth orbital. We can able to simplify this, okay, by substitute the value of E, value of h, epsilon naught, all these three values are constant. If we substitute all the constant value, then we also get this equation 2.18 into 10 power 6 z by n. So z means atomic number, okay, n means the number of orbitals, meter per second is the unit. Okay, so for hydrogen atom, we have z equal to 1, and the velocity will be, if we substitute 1 and the n value also 1, so the velocity will be 2.18 into 10 power 6. Here also 1, here also 1 meter per second. This is for first orbital, it will revolving faster. Then for second orbital, the value will get slower because our n is in denominator. So we have v1 by c equal to 1 by 137. This is one constant value. So what is c? C means speed of light. So if we divide v1 with the speed of light, then we have 1 by 137. Then kinetic energy of electron. Kinetic energy of electron. What is the formula? Half mv square. We have v value here. Then substitute this v value in this equation. So we will get half m. Instead of v, substitute this value z square e power 4, because here we have v square divided by 2 square 4 n square h square epsilon naught. So we have kinetic energy equal to m z square e power 4 divided by 2 into 4 will be 8. So 8 n square h square epsilon naught. So this is the value of kinetic energy of moving electron. Then potential energy of electron. So what is the formula for potential due to point charge? We know kq by r, potential due to point charge. Electric field kq by r square. So a square is different here. Okay. So kq by r is the potential energy of electron. But here we have considered an atom. So in atom we have two charges, positive charge as well as negative charge. So the potential energy will be kq by kq1 q2 by r. So k value 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Then q1 q2 by r. So this is the potential value of potential energy of electron. Okay. So we have to consider all the value with sign, because this is potential energy. So we have to consider it with sign. Okay. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. For electron we have minus e. Okay, q1 is our electron. Then inside the nucleus we have positive charge. So we don't know the number, we take plus Ze divided by, what is r? Just now we found the radius equation. So radius is n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square. So this is radius equation. So all this value goes to numerator. We have 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. E is at e. So minus z e square. Then pi m z e square divided by n square h square epsilon naught. Here pi get cancelled. Then we left with minus, here we have z, here also we have z. So we can write minus m z square, e square and e square, e power 4 divided by, here we have 4 and epsilon naught. So we can write 4 n square h square epsilon naught into epsilon naught square. So this is the value of potential energy. So if I multiple and divide by 2, then we have potential energy equal to minus 2 m z square e power 4 divided by, if I multiply with 2 here, then we have 8 n square h square epsilon naught square. So this is the similar equation which we found for kinetic energy, but the only difference is it have mz square e power 4 divided by 8 h square epsilon naught square n square. So kinetic energy just now we found mz square e power 4 divided by 8 h square epsilon naught square n square. So the only difference is minus 2, correct? So we can write potential energy is nothing but minus 2 times of kinetic energy, correct? So potential energy is minus 2 times of kinetic energy. If we multiply minus 2 with kinetic energy, then we have potential energy. Okay, then total energy is the summation of kinetic energy plus potential energy. So what is kinetic energy? mze square z square e power 4 divided by 8 h square epsilon naught square n square minus potential energy minus 2 mz square e power 4 divided by 8 n square h square epsilon naught square. So if you check, the only difference is we have 1 mz square e power 4 divided by 8 h square epsilon naught square n square. Here we have 2. Okay, here 1 unit, here we have 2 unit. So 1 minus 2 will be minus 1. We have minus mz square e power 4 divided by 8 n square h square epsilon naught square. So this is the value of total energy. So if we substitute all the constant value, we know m value, mass of electron, charge of electron, then h value, epsilon naught value, then our total energy will become total energy equal to minus 13.6 into z square by n square electrovolt. Okay, so this is the energy of nth orbital. So why total energy value is negative? Because electron bounded with nucleus. Okay, electron is attracted towards the nucleus. So in order to make it free, we have to give some external energy. Okay, we have to give energy. So we have to give this much of energy to make the electron free from the nucleus or free from the atom. Okay, so that's why total energy will be in negative value. So we have to give this much of energy. Okay, if it is in first orbital, then we have to substitute one value to make it come out of the nucleus or out of the atom. Note on the question, find the kinetic energy of an electron in second orbit of lithium plus plus. So lithium have atomic number 3 and it is given second orbital, n value 2. So if I substitute here, then my total energy, so it is asked kinetic energy. So what is the difference between kinetic energy and total energy? You see this equation, this is kinetic energy, this is total energy. The only difference is negative sign. Okay, so kinetic energy is the minus sign of total energy. If we multiply with minus, then minus to minus will become. So kinetic energy, we can write kinetic energy is the minus sign of total energy, correct? So kinetic energy equal to minus into total energy. Already total energy have negative value. So if I multiply with negative value, then I have this positive value. So we can write from this equation. So we have total energy equal to minus 13.6 z square, 3 square will be 9 divided by n square, 2 square will be 4. So if I substitute this, then we have some value. So it is numerically calculated minus 30.6. Okay, joule. Sorry, electrovolt. The value is in electrovolt. So this is total energy. Then what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is the minus of total energy. So kinetic energy, already we have minus, then minus into minus will become plus, plus of 30.6 electrovolt. Then what is potential energy? Potential energy is 2 times of kinetic energy, or potential energy is 2 times of total energy. So potential energy is 2 times of total energy. Okay, so we have 2 into 30.6, 2 into, here we have minus 30.6. Okay, so we have 61.2 electrovolt, minus 61.2 electrovolt. So for hydrogen atom total energy, we simply take energy E1 for first orbital. Okay, what is the formula? Minus 13.6 into Z square by N square. Correct? So Z is 1, N also 1 for first orbital. So 1 square by 1 square electrovolt. So the value will be minus 13.6, which is in ground state. For second energy level, minus 13.6. So Z won't change, but the N value is 2 here. So 1 square by 2 square, it will be 1 by 4. So minus 13.6 divided by 4. So 1 by 4 electrovolt, then minus 13.6 divided by 4 will be minus 1.51 electrovolt, which is in first state. Okay, then third orbital E3 minus 13.6 into 1 by 3 square. 1 by 3 square will be 9. EV equal to, so here we have minus 13.6 divided by 9, minus 0.85 electrovolt. So this is in second state. Okay, second excited state. So like that it will goes on. So this is all about today's class. In next class we will see energy level diagram regarding these values. Thank you.